The Puck Portfolio with Andy MacNeil.
Hey, welcome to the Puck Portfolio. I'm your host, Andy MacNeil. I just choked on my coffee this morning, so that's a great way to start the show. I thought I was going to get through it, but apparently not. So good morning. I'm Andy MacNeil, the host of the Puck Portfolio. I'm here on weekdays to provide NHL projections, betting advice, and strategies to help you make informed bets throughout the NHL season. Jake, my man, what's up?
Oh, not too much, not too much. The last second coffee sip is a skill, that you develop when you during live
I have
broadcasts.
not
So
developed that
yeah, we're
skill.
we're gonna develop it over time. But yeah,
Yeah, you caught.
we were chatting before the show. Kind of right now, I'm kind of caught up in this Otani thing to Toronto. I know Toronto's not necessarily, you know, the center of the universe on this show, but right now, if Otani were to land there, it would certainly be the center of the universe for baseball. I've always been a big baseball fan. Obviously, grew up an Expos fan, but became a transplanted Blue Jays fan. So that's fun to think about right now.
Well, I mean, I just thinking about it, just like right now, the first thing that comes to mind is it immediately makes the Blue Jays a worldwide brand, right? Like they're all of a sudden like a global brand with a player like Otani on their team. So that would be pretty cool. But yeah, no, that keep me posted. I haven't obviously not following keeping up on the baseball offseason talk, but of course I've been hearing rumblings about it as well. Hard to concentrate on baseball when you've got the San Jose Sharks coming through for us big 4-1 comeback win over the New York Islanders. Get the job done in overtime. We're going to talk about the Sharks a little bit later, but let's get into the schedule breakdown. Of course, if you've been here before, which you probably have, this is a little bit of extra information for you over the next few days. We've got Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday here. Uh, the rest column tells you how many days rest teams have across the league. The load column gives you a little bit more context, tells you if teams are playing 4 games in 6 nights, 3 games in 4 nights, etc. So we won't spend a whole lot of time on that. I factor that into my handicapping. We'll talk about it as we go through game by game here. Wednesday and Thursday we'll be covering on this show. But let's get into Wednesday's projections, shall we? So it's been a hell of a run. 66 wins, 46 losses, and we've got a 16.5% return on investment. Ask your finance guy why he doesn't have a 16.5 return on investment. 20.2 units of profit. Gotta love it. Really happy with the results so far. And I've got a play for Wednesday. It's on the Florida Panthers. Currently minus 119 at NorthStar Bets. Really a good price. Could have got a better price earlier as there was a move toward the Dallas Stars overnight. But if you watch the show on Tuesday, then you know that the Florida Panthers were projected as a minus 129 money line favorite. They were down around a pick 'em price at minus 110 early on Wednesday morning here. But now they're back up at around minus 114 to minus 120 at most sports books. We'll lock in minus 119 at NorthStar Bets. Shop around. This is a 1 unit play to win 1 unit. So 1.19 units to win 1 unit on the Florida Panthers. Based on how things are looking right now here, it does look like, minus 119 is a relatively good price. Minus 120, minus 115. That's what we're seeing out there at most sports books. So shop around, find the best price. Of course, that'll give you the best chance to win. But there are a lot of good prices at NorthStar Bets. They sponsor this show. They offer early odds on the next day's NHL games, which we will get to in a little bit here. And that helps us get out there, get the projections out there early, give you guys the best chance to win each and every day. But look, this is the first half of a back-to-back for Dallas. The Stars are at Washington on Thursday. And I think shooting luck is really the only thing that's missing from this Panthers lineup. Sergei Bobrovsky is going to start for the Panthers. Their goaltending, their defense has been really good this season, great even. And I think, if there is a hockey god, still not sure if there is, Florida's offense is going to break out soon. I mean, this is the team that really kicked off this whole offensive surge back in 2021-22 when they became the top offensive team in the modern era, the best offensive team in 26 years, scoring 4 goals per 60 minutes. Florida outperformed expected goals that season, not by much. And last season, they underperformed expected goals, scoring 3.5 goals per 60 minutes, still finished fifth in scoring, 3 goals per 60 minutes. This season, however, the Panthers, they ranked 20th on offense despite generating 3.7 expected goals per 60 minutes, which ranks fourth. So tough test tonight versus the Dallas Stars. And of course, Jake Ottinger, assuming he gets the start here. Of course, the Dallas Stars are on the first half of a back-to-back, as mentioned. So there's a chance that it could be Scott Wedgwood, but we'll assume that it's going to be Jake Ottinger against this tough Florida Panthers team because it is a tough matchup for the Stars as well. The model has the Panthers as a minus 129 favorite. That might seem a little high given how, on the surface, this looks like a very evenly matched game. But the Panthers are the home team. That counts for something here. A team like Florida, who has not necessarily been great at home this season, but historically in recent seasons has been really good on home ice. The Panthers minus 129 favorite according to the model. So I'm betting the Panthers at minus 119. Definitely would shop around, find that minus 115, which is available at several sports books, with some sports books ticking up to as high as minus 125 now. So keep that in mind as well. Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay, first half of a back-to-back for the Tampa Bay Lightning at Nashville on Thursday. The Penguins, we talked about how bad their defense is on Tuesday's show. They're giving up a ton of odd man rushes. Lightning not much better really in that regard, but the Penguins, just the eye test, the data really meshes with the eye test, and that the Penguins are not a good defensive team. They've been really propped up by their goaltending in that regard. Tristan Jarry, even Alex Nedeljkovic have both been good this season. Nedeljkovic was unreal against the Flyers. I mean, he made several 10-bell saves against the Philadelphia Flyers, who had a handful of odd man rushes. Travis Konechny was everywhere in that game. But of course, this is a revenge spot for the Tampa Bay Lightning. They blew a 2-0 lead against the Pittsburgh Penguins last week. And, they'll be looking to get back at the Penguins as they got back at the Stars. Lost 8-1 to Dallas. A few days later, beat the Stars 4-0. So the Lightning, they've always been a team that can, is capable of bouncing back. They're a minus 135 favorite right now, according to NorthStar Bets. According to the projection model, they should be minus 123. So pretty much right on the money there. No play on the Lightning or the Penguins. The Blues and sorry, did I have minus 123? No, I think I was looking at the wrong game. My apologies. Let me just get situated here. We live minus 128 according to the projection model for the Tampa Bay Lightning. So small value on the Lightning, I guess, not anywhere close enough to justify making a bet here. The St. Louis Blues plus 124 underdogs according to the projection model. Another revenge spot here for the Vegas Golden Knights, who lost 2-1 in Vegas in the shootout or in extra time against the St. Louis Blues. I believe that one ended in overtime. Can't recall. But it was extra time, and Vegas will be looking to get back on track here, right? So I don't know. The Golden Knights, they rank 13th in expected goals percentage, top half of the league in all situations. The Blues, they rank 18th, but there's not a big gap here. At Vegas, they're obviously the better team. They've got a 57.6% goal share, and they've got an even higher ceiling than that. But this is like I said, a revenge spot for VGK. But it's going to be Blues or nothing for me right now. It's nothing, but I don't think the gap is as big as the market might think, as some people might think. And I think the Blues showed that over the weekend with the win over the Vegas Golden Knights. And finally, Carolina at Edmonton. This is the first half of a back-to-back for Carolina. They're at Calgary on Thursday. The Edmonton Oilers back after a 5-day break. So there's a 4-day rest advantage here for the Edmonton Oilers. Like I said on Wednesday's show, or Tuesday's show, sorry, 4 days rest, 5 days rest. That's when you start getting into the rust territory. So you got to be careful of the Oilers here. Minus 110 minus 109, sorry, according to the projection model. And that's basically what we're seeing, minus 110 on each side at NorthStar Bets currently for the Hurricanes and the Edmonton Oilers. But yeah, we're going to get into Thursday, December 7th right away here. We'll pull out the projections. Jake, do we got anything in the chat today? I know it's a light day in the NHL. Maybe people are going to take a little bit of time getting to this episode, but just wondering if we've got anything to get to.
Yeah, I mean, I think you mostly covered it. That the Blues Vegas Knights game is a little closer than people expect. Chris in the chat finding the Blues at plus 145. I assume
Wow.
you would take that and run.
Yeah. Look, you're right. It's coming up there now, plus 145, plus 140. This has just happened in the last little bit here. Let me just pull up the line history. So yeah. Took a little bit for the rest of the market to catch up, but they are. Big move towards the Vegas Golden Knights. Let's see what is available here. Yeah, let's lock in the Blues at plus 145. In addition to the Florida Panthers for Wednesday's games. You're going to get a better effort from Vegas, but this price here, really too good to pass up. 1 unit play on the St. Louis Blues at plus 145. And let's just hope that we didn't miss anything as far as injury news or anything like that. Does not look like it. Jordan Binnington expected to start versus Vegas. He's 8-6-1, 914 save percentage, 1 shutout, 9.7 goals saved above expected year to date for Jordan Binnington. So that's pretty good, right? Hate the guy, really, but I mean, he's playing good. We'll take it. but yeah, so Blues over the Vegas Golden Knights. So 2 plays for Wednesday's 4-game NHL slate. The Florida Panthers minus 119 to win 1 unit, and the St. Louis Blues plus 145. Shop around for that one. 1 unit to win 1.45 units. So let's keep this train rolling. 20.2 units of profit. Hopefully we don't go backwards here on Wednesday, but we've got Thursday too. And there is a lot of hockey action on Thursday, December 7th. We'll start with the Buffalo Sabres taking on the Boston Bruins. The Sabres, they're playing their 4th game in 6 days. The Bruins, they're coming off a rested stretch, having 3 days off. The Sabres, they were booed off their home ice after the first period on Tuesday, falling behind 2-0 to the Detroit Red Wings. Detroit went up 4-0 before Buffalo scored 3 unanswered goals to tease a comeback, because it was a tease. They lost 5-3. Buffalo is now 1-11 straight up when trailing at the end of the first period this season. Boston has outscored teams 23-14 in the first period this season. So the Sabres really do not have room to make any mistakes in this one. They have just 4 wins in their last 12 games. Really tough matchup here for the Sabres. Boston Bruins minus 228 according to the projection model, plus 228 on the other side for the Buffalo Sabres. I mean, maybe we're not high enough here on the Boston Bruins, because we're seeing that Sabres price creep up here a little bit. Plus 225 at one sports book, as low as plus 180 at another, though. So there is some value on the Bruins, depending on where you shop around. No value on the Sabres here. But yeah, we'll wait and see. We'll talk about that one a little more maybe on Thursday. The Toronto Maple Leafs at the Ottawa Senators. We just learned that the Maple Leafs called up Martin Jones because Ilya Samsonov dealing with the flu bug. He is too weak to join the team again for this one. So yeah, looks like we'll see Joseph Wall against the Ottawa Senators. 4 days off for the Maple Leafs, so they are rested. The Sens, they've only got 1 day's rest. But Ottawa looked really good against the Rangers, much to my chagrin. Not happy about that one. The Rangers cost me what would have been a really good night. But thankfully, what would have been a really bad night was saved by the San Jose Sharks. not a really bad night, but it would have been a losing night. But the Sharks came back and saved the day. That's why I'm wearing the Sharks hat today. We're going to talk about the Sharks right away. But yeah, the Maple Leafs, 4 days off, a little bit rusty possibly against the Sens team who is maybe feeling it right now. The Maple Leafs, according to the projection model, should be a minus 142 favorite. And that means that there is some value on the Maple Leafs at minus 132. And I've just got to double check something here, though, because I could have swore that I had Toronto. No, it's minus 142. So yeah, I guess I'm betting against the Senators again, which is unfortunate because they haven't been treating me well lately. You know, the Sens have been proving me wrong as of late, and you know, this one doesn't feel great. But you know what? Let's lock it in for a half unit play on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Jake, we've got a rematch with the Montreal Canadiens, the Los Angeles Kings. Of course, the Kings streak of 9 straight regulation wins on the road came to an end on Tuesday, but they are still undefeated as the visitors. 1 day rest advantage for the Canadians, who were shut out by the Kings back on November 25th in Los Angeles. What are you thinking about this one? Probably much of the same.
Yeah, I imagine it's going to be pretty similar. I mean, obviously Montreal's at home now, and they're going to be thinking about that last game. But the Kings handled them so well in LA. They just kind of locked it down and trapped them to death. So I don't expect much different. Maybe Montreal manages a goal or two instead of being shut out, but don't have a ton of faith in them getting that revenge.
Yeah, so locked in a half unit play to win a half unit on the Toronto Maple Leafs for Thursday's slate. And we're going to move on and talk about the San Jose Sharks right away because they got another big win on Tuesday. As I mentioned, it was a fun one. The Sharks were down 4-1. They stormed back. They tie the game 4-4. They get it into overtime, and they come out with the big win. The Sharks closed plus 268 on the money line. The New York Islanders were a minus 311 money line favorite. That implies that they've got a 75+% chance of winning that game. But the Sharks, they buck that trend. And when you look at how this has gone for the San Jose Sharks this last month, now since getting blown out by the Pittsburgh Penguins here on November 4th, the Sharks are 7-7-1 in their last 15 games. If you had bet $100 on the Sharks to win each of those 15 games on the money line, you would be up $959 right now. On the other side of that, if you had bet the Sharks' opponents to win each of those games at $100 a pop, you'd be down $421. So, yeah, this team is bad. Everybody knows that. The Sharks are arguably the worst team in the NHL. They're catching up. They're not anymore, actually. They caught the Chicago Blackhawks, who are now in 32nd place, if I recall correctly. Let me just double check that so that we can edit that out and we can make a proper, short here. Because I thought that was the case last night. If the San Jose Sharks won, they would not be in last place. So I'm just going to look that up right now. Why would it, weird, NHL.com. Why would it bring me to 2022-23? Yeah, the Chicago Blackhawks. They're 1 point behind the San Jose Sharks. So the Sharks are no longer the worst team in the NHL. And if you're blindly fading this team, if you're blindly betting against them, then you really don't have a clue. This is an NHL team for sure. They're not going to keep winning at this rate. They're not going to win 50% of their games going forward. I mean, we're talking about a team that, according to the betting market, is expected to win somewhere between 25 and 30% of their games, whether they're on the road or they're playing at home. So the Sharks just cleaning up lately. You're almost up $1,000 if you've been betting a $100 unit size on the Sharks over this last month. Of course, nobody's in their right mind is doing that every single game, but there are spots to bet on this team, like we showed on Tuesday. Big price versus the Islanders come through with the win. And somebody asked the other day, do you play the puck line plus 1.5 on these games? No, I don't. I play the money line. And typically, I've got a bigger edge in the money line market, so that's what I'm going to play. As far as this game goes, of course, the big story here is Patrick Kane. He's likely going to make his Detroit Red Wings debut. Everybody knows that's going to happen, though. And if you have any idea how betting markets work, sure, there might be another big push towards the Red Wings here when the public jumps on fading the San Jose Sharks as they have over the last month. Think of how many parlays the Sharks have busted over that month. They've been a total annihilation of a total parlay annihilator. Sorry, of for public bettors. Just throwing the Sharks on there, hoping, or throwing the Sharks opponents on there, hoping that their odds will get boosted a little bit. But this team is not that bad that they should be a fade every night of the week. The Islanders shouldn't be a minus 311 favorite against anybody. So let's just get that straight right now, if you want to know where I think the Islanders are. But as far as this game goes, the Sharks and the Red Wings, if anything, there's a little bit of value on Detroit out there right now. I would not necessarily make that bet. It's not widely available. It's actually only one. No, it's only one sports book, and it's an Ontario sports book. So screw you, Ontario. But yeah, the Sharks. I mean, don't just blindly bet against this team. Don't just throw their opponents on a parlay because you think it's an easy winner on a parlay leg. It's not the case. Only a sucker would do that at this point. Only a sucker has been doing that. So come on, guys, be better. Anyway, the Tampa Bay Lightning at the Nashville Predators. I'm going to have to make a play on the Predators here, I think, because NorthStar Bets currently plus 107. The obviously the Lightning in action against the Penguins tonight. We already know Andrei Vasilevsky is starting, or at least it looks like he is going to start, expected to start. He was the first goaltender off the ice for the Lightning at practice. So that means it's probably going to be Jonas Johansson in action against the Predators on Thursday, second half of a back-to-back, 1 unit to win 1.07 units on the Nashville Predators at plus 107. So we're adding, just to recap here, we've got two bets for Friday. Toronto minus 132 to win a half unit to beat those pesky Ottawa Senators, and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Thursday, sorry. My days are mixed up. Got my days mixed up. Too many days. Let's just make it all one day. Let's just, I don't know. One day and just use numbers. We don't need to get too complicated here. Nashville plus 107 to beat the Lightning on Thursday. Hopefully you get Jonas Johansson on Thursday and Vasilevsky against the Penguins on Wednesday. So really not a lot to break down there. This is a situation where some of these sports books put up the lines for both games on the back-to-backs, like the Lightning are in on Wednesday and Thursday. They do so projecting that the starting goaltender will be in goal for both of those games, typically, because you see a big change usually when the goaltending situation becomes more clear, and we'll likely see a big move towards the Predators here, or we'll see some of these other sports books open up with the Predators as at a shorter price, maybe a short favorite even. The model has the Nashville Predators minus 105. So a short favorite, 51.1% chance of winning on Thursday against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Anaheim and Chicago. It's the fourth game in 6 days for the Chicago Blackhawks. They'll play their sixth game in 9 days with back-to-back games against St. Louis and Washington coming up this weekend. So they're in the midst of a really tough stretch of hockey. And I don't really quite get the line here, the opening line on the Anaheim Ducks. Minus 104 at NorthStar Bets. They should be a bigger favorite. The projection model has the Ducks at -1. What's going on with Trevor Zegras, by the way? He's just disappeared, fell off the face of the earth. I thought it was going to be a minor injury. Still haven't seen him for a while now. So -104, gonna lock that in to win 1 unit on the Anaheim Ducks. Let me just drink a sip of coffee here. That's better. So yeah, one more play for Thursday. Just kind of taking my time here, going through things because there is a lot to get through. Don't want to gloss over anything. Obviously, we'll have another chance to catch up on everything on Thursday, but this is the time when we hope to find the most value. So I've got another bet locked in. That's the third bet for Thursday. Anaheim -104 on the money line to beat the Chicago Blackhawks. And yeah, things are coming along here nicely. So Nashville, Anaheim, and Toronto. And now one more that you guys have probably been expecting: the Columbus Blue Jackets. They're in action against the Islanders in New York. First half of a back-to-back for Columbus. They're playing St. Louis on Friday. Would expect it would be Elvis Merzlikins against the Islanders on Thursday. Spencer Martin on Friday versus the Blues. There's really not a lot separating these two teams, which sounds crazy to say, but in all situations, the Isles are the 26th team in expected goals percentage, 27th in shot attempt percentage, 23rd in goal share. The Blue Jackets, they're 30th in expected goals percentage, really bad. 23rd in shot attempt percentage, though, and 25th in goal share. So it really would not be surprising or all that shocking to see the Blue Jackets come in and outshoot the Islanders. And I think that's just it, right? This Islanders team leaves too much up to luck. When you play break-even hockey, i.e. 50-50 in shots and expected goals in most games, or worse, or a little bit better, variance is going to destroy you. And it pretty much has destroyed the Islanders this season. This team cannot hold on to a lead. They've led in so many games. Of course, Patrick Laine missed Tuesday's game with an illness, but would expect him to be back in. Illnesses do not usually keep players out for very long. So going to lock in the Blue Jackets here at +175, 1 unit play on the Blue Jackets to win 1.75 units at NorthStar Bets. That is the best price in market right now. That is the fourth bet for Thursday. Yeah, Thursday is going to be a big day. Toronto -132 to win 0.5 units. Columbus +175, 1 unit to win 1.75 units. 1 unit on the Nashville Predators to win 1.07 units at +107, and 1 unit to win 1 unit on the Anaheim Ducks at -104, 1.04 units to win 1 unit. God, I sound like Scott Steiner when I talk numbers. Try not to do it as much as possible. Jake, do we got anything to get to? Any updates that you have come across by chance?
Not too much. Chris, a little earlier, was asking what you use to monitor line history, monitor line movements.
I use a few different apps here. Used to be a Don Best guy, but I mean, those days are done. I'm not going to pay $500 a month for or more, I guess. That's I'm talking American dollars, but no, I use several different websites. I'm sure Chris is familiar with all of them. I will get to him. I will give him some recommendations in the DMs, but yeah. Um, there are, of course, I've got my own database. I log line history and things like that for past odds. As far as the current day's odds, though, I am monitoring several different sports books. And yeah, it certainly helps. You've got to have outs. You've got to have an easy way to compare odds. And yeah, that certainly helps. Just checking on some updates here because don't want to miss anything. A lot of breaking news during this time. Um, as far as the Wednesday games go, I know we're talking about Thursday right now, but got to keep an eye on things for Wednesday because things can change fast. So yeah, 4 bets locked in for Thursday. Just going to double check and see if there is anything else worth talking about or locking in right now. You know what? I guess we could lock in a small bet. Yeah, it's going to be a small bet, assuming the price has not changed at plus 117 on the Philadelphia Flyers. I think these two teams are evenly matched, but I've got the Flyers rated slightly higher than the Arizona Coyotes. There's enough value here to justify risking zero point 0.5 units on the Philadelphia Flyers to beat the Arizona Coyotes at Mullet Arena on Thursday. And as far as the early bets go, that's going to be my final bet for Thursday. So let's just recap everything here. Thursday, St. Louis plus 145. Oh, no, sorry. The days. I need like a sticker on the front that says today is Wednesday, tomorrow is Thursday. Wednesday, St. Louis Blues plus 145 on the money line. Looking for them to get another win over the Vegas Golden Knights. 1 unit to win 1.45 units. 1.19 units to win 1 unit on the Florida Panthers at minus 119 to beat the Dallas Stars on Wednesday. Moving on to Thursday now. The Toronto Maple Leafs minus 132 to win 0.5 units. So 0.66 unit bet to win 0.5 units. The Columbus Blue Jackets, 1 unit to win 1.75 units, betting them on the money line to beat those Islanders, those dreadful New York Islanders at plus 175. The Tampa Bay Lightning, they're in Nashville taking on the Preds. I've got the Preds on the money line at plus 107. That's a 1 unit play. The Anaheim Ducks, they're minus 104 on the road in Chicago, taking on the Blackhawks, the worst team in the NHL, 1.04 units to win 1 unit on the Anaheim Ducks. And the Philadelphia Flyers, half-unit play to beat the Coyotes at plus 117 to win 0.59 units. That pretty much does it for us today on the Puck Portfolio. It's been a good run. Hopefully Wednesday and Thursday will be profitable days, but we've built up a good cushion that, you know, we can take a swing here every once in a while. And it looks like Wednesday and Thursday we are taking a pretty big swing with 7 bets between those 2 days in total. Jake, you got anything you want to add before we get out of here?
No, I'll just say here's to here's to that Otani announcement coming in soon. Good luck with your bets, everybody. Thank you, of course, for tuning in. Happy Wednesday out there.
Hump day. Like the video. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Helps out a ton. Hit the 1,200 subscriber mark this morning. So thank you for that. Really appreciate it. But yeah, your comments, your likes, your shares, especially on Facebook, Twitter, wherever else you talk to people at. Share this show. Get the word out. We are going to be back on Thursday, of course, picking up any slack that was left here as far as the Thursday schedule. Looking ahead to Friday, and then getting set for Friday's big show because it is going to be a big show on Friday. We'll be looking ahead to Saturday's big NHL slate, providing projections, picks, etc. for you all on Friday, 9:30 a.m. 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, 11:30 a.m. Eastern time, right here on the Canada Sports Betting YouTube channel and wherever you get your podcast. But that does it for us today on the Puck Portfolio. See you on Thursday. Good luck with your bets and take care.